Hey guys, we're getting ready to do a little painting. Beautiful day today, November. Still waiting to figure out who the president of the U.S. is. And yeah, we're gonna do a little painting. It's in the 70s in November, which is unbelievable. So, gonna hit this with about 3 coats of the engine primer. Specifically this, I'm not sure I'm gonna do these two parts up here because they're not high temperature. Then I'll hit it with some color I got over there sitting in the sun, just warming up. So about an hour, we'll have this painted. Okay guys, here we go. Paint job is all done. Well, I finished it about an hour ago. It's supposed to be dry to the touch in 3 hours. About a half a can. I just finished off the can of the primer. And I got about a quarter of a can left of one of those. But while that was drying, came out here and filled up the tank with just tons and tons of water, shook it out, filled it up, tipped it over, shook it out, filled it up, tipped it over, shipped it out. Took about an hour. Just want to show you just some of the crud that just came out of that tank. Lots of hard work to get that done. And again, it's just been a beautiful day today. We found out Biden won, so we're really excited about that. But it's in the 70s today, and we're gonna let this tank dry out. And then we'll try to weld up the one spot and see if we can't save this guy. All right, guys, I'll show you what I got done this weekend. Painted up the motor, just took her apart. Not a lot to it. Used some 220 and some red Scotch-Brite. Gave it a nice coat of paint. Masked off some of the stickers here, and yeah, put it back together again. Simple little project. I'll finish wiring it up here. Also been working on the tank. So I used, I think I threw it out already, but the JB Weld quick weld. I'd already welded the spot in there, so it did not leak. And we knew that before I took the motor and everything off. So when I had sanded it down, there were still little bits and pits and stuff. So I put a nice layer of JB Weld in there, let it soak in. Then kind of, whoa, that was fun. I hope everybody enjoyed that free ride. Usually you pay for that at Disneyland. You got it for free. Anyway, put a level of JB Weld down there, sanded it down. I obviously welded on my foot first, then did the JB Weld, and now I'm just putting just regular old Bondo, right? To just smooth it out, and that's very sandable. I'll be able to make that nice and smooth and then hit it with primer. You'll also notice I had my, where is it? Just my little propane tank. I had it flipped over for an hour or two today. I just turned the propane tank on and put it underneath of it. Every 30 minutes or so I'd move it, and you'd see the smoke coming out of it where it was just burning off the water vapor. Again, just trying to clean out the inside of that tank to the best of my ability in my little home shop. So I still got some sanding to do. We'll sand everything, and then before I paint, I'm gonna flip this over. I'll hook up my pump here. So I think you saw last time, nice fresh set of paint. Looks really nice. And I'll put it back together along with the motor and just do a quick temporary setup with all the bits and bobs I've got over here and bring it up to pressure. See if that tank's gonna hold or if it's gonna break and leak again. If it does, then what I'll probably do is put the motor and the pump up for sale on eBay, or my son's got a business where he sells to guys who use compressors, so maybe just have him store it in the back of his shop, and someday somebody's going to come in and say, hey, I need a new pump and a motor, and he'll be ready to go. And then I'll go out and buy a new compressor. But if it does work, awesome, and then I'll tear it back down, make sure it holds pressure, tear it back down, prime it, paint it, and then rebuild it and plumb it the way I want to with the right air fixtures and all that stuff. About halfway there. Week after next is Thanksgiving week, so I'm taking that week off. So I'm sure, hopefully things will go well, and we'll be in a point where I can just paint that up. Need to get the bikes put down. Well, the one. Empty the gas tank and bleed the carbs. It's starting to get cold, it's raining today. And then I can start working on that cafe again and try to finish that off here. Maybe just a week of Mondays. I got 90% of the parts, I just need to do it. And I haven't been able to get motivated. Once I get that out of the way, then we'll be able to work on Big Blue out here. And get that truck going. So that's really, I'm hoping I can get some serious time on that. So that's what we're working on. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for more. Okay, guys, so pulled out the paint here. I just peeled off the stickers. So you can see I saved the Emglo and the little warning tag up there. So what I ended up doing with the tank for painting, I didn't use the sprays. You can see I used that on that because these are high heat to spray paint that, but went to Lowe's and got myself oil-based Rust-Oleum Gloss Royal Blue. And you can see there it matched pretty damn close to what was on there. The first bout I did, I just used paint thinner because that's all I had here at the house. I used 4 ounces of the paint, 3 ounces of paint thinner, and a good ounce of Japan dryer. Then I just got myself one of these cheap kits, mixed it up really good. Make sure you do mix it up in the bucket because there's science that takes place there, guys, so you need to mix it for about a minute. Don't just swish it around and think everything's together. It's not the way science works. But then I used just a roller. This was for a cabinet roller, 4-inch. I think I got it in a kit with this for like $6. And then I had a brush laying around. So the first coat I put on there, I did not like it. There were some runs. It did not dry fast. And I had to watch it. I mean, I was out here for a good 2-3 hours just applying the first coat, which is not normal because it would keep running. What I did for the second coat was go back to acetone. So I picked up some acetone, and this time I used 3 ounces of paint, 1 ounce of acetone, and then just 2 splashes, half an ounce of the Japan dryer. mix it up real good, and that was much, much better. The coverage was really good. You can see here that it's dried, and there's nothing. This is still just a little bit tacky. I just applied this this afternoon. But it covered really good. These were some runs that came in from last night. You can kind of see it there. And no matter how hard I tried, I just could not. The runs would show up 2 hours later. So, also for the base coat on this, before I started applying the blue paint, I used some of the Rust-Oleum rust reformer. There was some rust on the tank. And so I just sprayed the whole thing. This is like a matte black. And it's supposedly it instantly converts rust. I don't know, but sure, why not? So I sprayed the whole tank with that and really concentrated on the areas where there were deep scratches or rust. And then I let that set overnight. Then I applied the first coat with the paint thinner, and it just kind of ran. So second coat, and like I said, I just peeled off the tags. With the Emglo, I did not paint. You can kind of see this is the original blue, and this is the painted blue. So, you know, I could probably get in there with a fine pen and touch it up some, or fine paintbrush, but that blue's pretty darn on. So I think it's gonna look pretty good. Like I said, I got some runs along, it's not too bad here, but this is just, it's an air tank, right? But I like to use things like this to practice my techniques. What I want to do is I'm going to use that acetone and Rust-Oleum trick for doing some touch-ups on my bike frame over there, the CL360. There's some chips on the frames and places where it's starting to rust. So that's what I was practicing here, was because I don't want to strip that bike all the way down and then have to spray the frame and blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to test out if I could roll it and do it, you know, with no streaks, and let it set down. So I'd seen some guys attempt this, and I mean, other than, like I said, the first time I used, what did I use? I used paint thinner instead of acetone. Never make that mistake again. I just kind of assumed, oh yeah, well, I'll just use paint thinner, but it does not dry as quickly. So I'm really happy with the results here. I thought about doing a third coat. I don't know that it's necessary. I guess when you get in here at the camera, you can kind of see some of the black underneath of it. I don't know. But I'm pretty happy with this. I'll let this set up overnight. And then tomorrow is actually Thanksgiving. So I might come out here in a comatose state of turkey hangover. And if everything's nice and dry, like I said, it's still, this tops here is not bad, but the tank's still got a little bit of tack to it. Hook up the pump, hook up the electric motor, start screwing the bits and bobs in, and then we'll be in a position where what I want to do is step it up. So I'll put it at 25 pounds of pressure and let it set a couple minutes. Then I'll take it to 35, add 10 pounds, 45, 55, 65. It'll take me a while, but just to be safe rather than sorry, I don't want to just suddenly apply 125 pound pressure to this tank, knowing that I've welded down here. So if the tank does give way, it's not going to be it'll be more of a, instead of a boom. So, although, you know, again, there's lots of YouTube videos. You can go out and watch Mythbusters and all that stuff when they shoot bullets through tanks. And yeah, the air is going to escape and it's going to be really loud and it's probably going to push the tank around to hit something, but it's not going to, I don't think it's going to, you know, explode if suddenly those wells gave out, like everybody claims happens. So there we go. That's what we're at. I got this guy all ready to go. So he's all painted. I can turn this and you'll hear it. I got some oil today, so I need to make sure everything's cleaned out through there. So I'll probably pump some, take him into the bathroom and pump some water through there and then dry him out on the inside. Just make sure we got all the goo out. This is the engine that I repainted again. Just took some 220, I think I actually did use my VHT paint on this one. So it turned out really, really nice. And the bearings were just beautiful. I mean, look at that. I'm barely turning it and it keeps going. So I didn't even have to replace the bearings in this electric engine. And I had just taped off the motors. These are gaskets that were on there from the old one. You just couldn't tell it. But yeah, these were gaskets and they're all there. So was able to actually make that button better. There's a button over there and I just taped around that thing. I didn't take it off or anything. So we'll be ready, you know, tomorrow if I feel like it, or probably the day after or this weekend. We'll get the pumps on there, get everything hooked up and start building pressure. And hopefully I'll have my air compressor back. If not, if the tank goes kaput, then I'll probably be looking at, you know, Craigslist or Facebook and finding myself probably a 60-gallon one I'd like. This is 30, and it works great for my little shop. I've got to stop and, you know, get refilled, but I think with the new valves and being cleaned out, no longer having a pinhole, it'll probably work maybe just a little bit better. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the finale.